Hey, welcome back to the Spanglish Show with Nelson Martinez, your former news anchor. You remember all that stuff. But for the new viewers, thank you for following us on YouTube, also Facebook, and on Instagram. We're getting there. We're starting. We started on Thanksgiving. So we're building our audience thanks to you. Please share. Please tell your friends about it. Hey, Mom, remember that old anchor man? He's doing a podcast. You know, that maybe she'll be interested, or he. But anyway, we have a special guest today, as we do all the time here on the Spanglish Show. Michael Ostaski. You know who he is. Maybe you watched the first portion of this show. He is an artist extraordinaire. Look at here, and he's a musician too. We talked about it. Welcome, Michael. We talked about you're playing guitars and you're interested in that. Besides the wonderful painting you do, can you talk to us about your guitar?
This is something that I just started about a year, maybe a year ago.
Wow!
And I thought, why not? Can you see the guitar?
Yeah, check it out. Well,
I go, why not paint on guitars, because I love painting, I love guitar. And so this is one of my creations, and I just think that it's just so much fun.
There it is. Hold it right there. We can see the Muertos, Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
Well, look at you.
And then I've done...
priceless.
What's fun about the guitars, too, is I've done like a Jimi Hendrix guitar.
I saw Jimi Hendrix that you did, period.
Yeah, and then, so you could do all these celebrity kind of things, I just did another one of American Eagle. I brought that one with me if you want to see it. But basically, what? Yeah.
Oh, I see the guitar.
Yeah, right. Anyways, it's just something that it's kind of a hobby now.
Yeah.
And so if you really want to, if anybody's really interested, and unfortunately, I find musicians really don't have a lot of money.
Well,
you know what I mean.
Well, sure. But there are grants available.
So, anyways, I do have a website. It's called CustomPaintedGuitars.com.
There's an easy one.
Yeah, and it's custom with a K.
Oh, with a K. Anyways, custom with a K.
Yeah. And
say that address again. Custom
painted
guitars. Past tense, painted.
Yeah.
Custom with a K, painted guitar.com. Oh, guitars, that's plural.
Yeah.
Okay. Si quiere una guitarrita muy padre, ahí está. There's a chance, no?
But I look at it this way too. It's a kind of a pastime hobby, and I've sold about a dozen. It's not bad.
What do they just ballpark? What do they go for?
About $500-$600. But this is the thing. What I think is funny, because I use about a $200 guitar. And these are the ones that I come up with, my own design. And if I sell them for, say, $600, then at least I make, $400. But the way I look at it is you're buying the art and you're getting a free guitar.
I think basically the priorities are wrong. You're buying a star's worth.
Yeah, there you go, man. But, it's something that, not only you can play and, enjoy it, but you can hang them on a wall. It's just art, and a lot of people, some artwork is, extremely expensive. My artwork, I think, is fairly reasonable. I don't want to...
Well, you have to put your price what you think you're worth, by golly, and you'd be surprised.
Yeah, and I've done some custom guitars, for people who, as a matter of fact, I've done several for Mark and his entourage, we commemorative guitars. Anyways, that's kind of what I'm doing now as well. And then I got some other irons in the fire, too.
Well, sure. No one... really retires, right? I mean, I thought I was going to sit there and just mellow out and go play a game or two of golf.
No.
It doesn't happen that way. I just love this podcasting adventure. Thanks to you and many others who have consented to come on and just share their stories. You're such a success.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I think people like us,
and humble, I must say that.
People like
Successful and
us
humble.
really are just never going to stop. I don't think, and it's what keeps us going. It really does.
Absolutely.
We get a hard snow just recently. I mean, just last week we got 14 inches of snow.
In April of 2025,
that was
as we're
like
taping
the
this.
5th
So that's
or
not long
something.
ago.
So anyways, my point is, I have an art studio and everything, but it's cold and everything. And, you got to go out there and turn on the propane furnace and this and that, because I have a separate art studio from my home. So
That sounds like a tax deduction. Okay, anyway.
So
Separate studio.
What happens, is I'm sitting in the house watching TV, maybe I'll be on the computer, but just one day of sitting around and I'm already, I got to go do something.
Yeah.
I'm just not made to just hang around and sit. There's just no way. I got to have something to do.
Yes.
And I thank God for that because, it keeps me going, period.
Well, that's the idea, no?
Yeah.
They say we're all electricity. You don't want that condenser, capacitor, all those things in there to keep it going. And what you do, I mean, your imagination in front of thousands of people to create something like that's impressive. And so why wouldn't that give you such an impassioned desire to keep wowing people?
Yeah, and it's not only that, it's just the idea of just sitting on a couch. And unfortunately, I see way too many people that are just sort of lazy, or they, they just go, well, it doesn't matter. I live every day like it is my last day, because it could be.
Oh yeah, no sabe uno. One does not know.
Yeah.
Un día a la vez, one day at a time.
Yeah,
absolutely. You got it right.
So
that's what makes
kind of
you.
my
I can see it in
creed.
your face. You're appreciative of life.
Yeah,
Big
that's my goal and creed, and actually. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Our executive producer, Mark Padilla, he strongly recommended you. He said, I know someone you should interview. And there you are, just humbly living
you had to
in
track
the
me
East
down,
Mountains.
I had to come way down from the East Mountains.
Well, it's absolutely excellent to meet you. I've seen you on videos left and right on audiences that you've thrilled. You were a little heavier, if I recall. How many years ago? Aren't we all a little? No.
Oh, I don't know. I
Have
go
you
in
lost
and
weight
out.
over the past year? Because I saw a video way back 25 years ago that kind of looked like you, like me. I lost all my black hair. Here we are.
Oh, yeah.
That's not where you want to go on this.
Oh, no, that's fine. I actually, I stopped drinking about 8 months ago.
That's the ticket.
And people are saying, God, your skin tone, or
yes,
you're looking a little thinner or whatever. But I do feel better, a lot.
Well, that's
better
what I tell you. I mean, I see it. Everybody sees it. When you leave that poison alone, sorry, liquor companies, but you leave that poison alone, my God, you come to life inside. Huh?
Yeah. And, in the show
Spiritually,
business,
too,
and
especially.
the show business world, it's easy to drink. It's easy to have a couple of shots in a beer and you're going to relax and you're going to go do this.
Yeah.
But it in my case, it led to another shot and another beer and another. And, I could see that my father passed away from alcoholism.
Oh, sorry to hear
So, another thing that runs in my family. So I decided, okay, this is it. So
you've been sober for quite a while.
Cold turkey, 8 months. But hey.
8 months is 8 months.
And I don't have a desire.
That's the deal. I hear that from a lot of people.
I honestly don't.
Yeah.
I actually smelled a little brandy. Brandy was my favorite thing.
Sure.
Somebody had a drink or something and it slid across the table.
You go.
And I took it and I go, oh no.
Yuck. Yeah.
So that is a good sign for me. And I've been drinking the non-alcoholic beer, and once in a while just to have a chips and beer or whatever.
Sure.
And they're good enough. They're good enough.
Hi there. The Spanglish Show with Nelson Martinez proudly welcomes our new sponsors. That's right, La Mexicana Tortilla Company. Oh boy, it'll bring you the greatest food and taste and service every time. Thank you to you and Flor de las Flores Dispensary, your go-to spot for care and good service. Thank you. Gracias for supporting our show and community. Really nice to hear that. Stay tuned and stay connected. Well, you look fabulous.
Well, thanks.
And not blowing smoke here. I'm just really, you can tell that you're at peace.
Yes.
I'm always amazed by the vibe from people. A person can be a jerk all his life, and then he's got an opportunity to be in front of a camera to show his best or her best. But if you're a jerk all your life, you can't fake it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour.
I can name a few.
Yeah, can't we all? Yeah. So you're not in that category whatsoever.
Well, thank
you're
you.
A really delight to be around because you've created some beautiful vibes from so many people that is still coming or emanating. I love it. Thank you for coming by the studio here.
Can I also just add that I've done my share of murals in my life too. And that's another thing that I'm focusing on these days. So it's my guitar work, but murals, and I just finished 2 beautiful murals on Route 66, right on Route 66.
Whereabouts are they?
Well, one is on the Chevron station on the Zuzak's exit on I-40 going east.
Like you're talking about the casino Route 66 area?
No, this one is, it's the Chevron station as you're going towards Tucumcari.
Oh, okay. Oh, Klein's Corners area?
Well, no, it's not that far.
Okay.
It's just in Zuzak. So it's just over the hill from Cedar Crest or, kind of my neighborhood. But it's a big mural, and it's Route 66 mural. We'll show pictures of it. And then I did that one, and I got a commission to do another one in Moriarty, a Route 66 design. And I'm looking for more murals, too. I really enjoy them. I've done murals for Mark Padilla. And the front of his.
Yes, are those yours?
Yeah, those are mine.
With the disc jockey and one the lady.
That's my work.
That is fabulous. I've been always telling Mark, I said, who did this for you? That is so vibrant.
And it's just different. Again, like we were talking about, when you're a natural artist, which I believe, you can take, like I took the keyboard in that mural. We'll show pictures of that.
Sure,
But the keyboard, it goes up the side and out, and there's shadows, so it looks like it sweeps around. And I go, who does that? I dreamt it. And I go, that's what I need to do.
See, those are after, what do you call it? Yeah, the stuff flowing through you, man. It's
like, it's a traditional art called trompe l'oeil, which means it fools the eye. And I just love that when you can make something with shadows and stuff look three-dimensional or like it's coming out at you. And so and thank God that I work for people like Mark, because they go, well, we don't really know what we want, but we trust your judgment. Why don't you come up with some ideas? And I throw some ideas, and they go, man, that's good, that's good, that's good. They don't question me. They just go, you go for it. And usually it'll turn out better that way.
Well, absolutely does. And, again, Mark Padilla, being the executive producer here, he's just a mountain of talent. And you have said something earlier that he just is a go-getter. He just goes for it. And we're totally happy to say he's one of our sponsors and the executive producer. And we also want to thank La Mexicana Mexican Restaurant. The tamales, they make the best tamales.
Ooh,
thank you for sponsoring. Yeah. But so thank you again. I'm just thrilled, Michael, that you should stop. Really, I thought, sometimes people cancel at the last minute because of one thing or another. and you didn't.
Nope.
And I really appreciate that. I hope we sell a lot of guitars or paintings of it. And also, you gotta share your talent with kids. And I don't know how you're doing that. Maybe a charity. I understand you have a lot of charities, or at least at some point you kind of help out for free and show off your talents, encourage people at schools perhaps.
Yeah, oh no, I've done a bunch of free, free gigs. When I was doing the Art Explosion, I did several,
What I was
free
leading
things.
to, yeah.
And with Abe Torres.
Yes.
He's just another dear friend too.
Oh, he is also
and he always
talented.
gets me something to do. He goes, Michael, man, there's a charity over here. Can you donate a painting? I always.
It's cool.
When it comes to that kind of thing, absolutely, I always do that. And as far as the children, I love teaching kids, and they love me because I'm really a good teacher, and I'm real gentle with them, and I really do enjoy teaching. And whenever I get a chance to do something like that, paint classes or whatever, and once every year we have a private party at my home, and we have all our families and kids of the families, and we paint rocks, and we do all this, and I get it all set up, and the kids just have a blast.
Oh, isn't that priceless?
And painting rocks is fun.
Well, of course it is.
If you haven't tried it, you got to try it.
Well, I had a couple of rocks given to me as gifts. One of them said Jesus on it, but that was cool.
Yeah,
and it was really cool. I never thought about that.
People, you could get their creative. You could dive into somebody's mind by just saying, "Here's a rock, here's some paint. Go for it." You wouldn't be. They could do a butterfly. They could do anything.
Yeah.
And I had one little kid do a beach scene on a little rock.
A beach scene.
I was like, "This is amazing." So. You got to hand it to the creativity of people. You got to let people
be creative.
Be creative and give them a little direction and let them go.
That's wonderful to teach. Thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome.
And I hope that a lot of the folks that are listening, and this is in perpetuity. This will be going on forever. And whenever new generations watch this, they get a little inspired to go forward. My God, get that canvas out there and start slopping it around. It looks like slopping it around, but there's a genius behind that slop. Hi there. The Spanglish Show with Nelson Martinez proudly welcomes our new sponsors. That's right, La Mexicana Tortilla Company. Oh boy, it'll bring you the greatest food and taste and service every time. Thank you to you and Flor de las Flores Dispensary, your go-to spot for care and good service. Thank you. Gracias for supporting our show and community. Really nice to hear that. Stay tuned and stay connected. And so we're back to this wonderful conversation we're having. I think it's wonderful. I know you're learning something because, it's what it is when you talk to somebody that's so talented. And before we let him go, I wanted to kind of let you know how famous this guy is and how talented and how quick he does it. That's the trick of the whole thing. People are astonished by what he is capable of doing. And back with you again. Thank you again. Before you leave, tell us what kind of places do you besides the mural that you did for the beautiful store Lessman's on Lomas and San Mateo. I love that outdoor thing you did on his walls. My God, it's so vivid. So what else have you done? What kind of things do you do?
Well, I did when I was in California, just before I moved here to New Mexico, I was the art director for a hotel chain for a while.
Wow.
And this is the time when I was still living in the house truck, but I settled in Santa Barbara for a while, and I lived on this 60-acre avocado ranch.
Oh, wow.
And I got an opportunity to be almost corporate a little bit. Well, actually quite a bit.
Almost corporate, what do you mean?
Well, I was working for a company that would buy hotels and casinos and restaurants and stuff and remodeling them. And they needed an art director and an artist. And so we were called the Infinity Group back then, and I was their guy. And I actually painted murals with them for about 10 years all over the United States. And we did casinos, hotels, restaurants, nightclubs.
You've been in a lot of pamphlets too, a lot of brochures or something.
Oh yeah,
showing off your work.
Yeah, there was a magazine called Nightclub and Bar Magazine. I was on the cover several times. And
what does that do to you when you see the obviously?
I was very proud.
Yeah, of course,
I was very proud. But we would go in and we would literally tool up a nightclub or a restaurant or something within like 30 days. And we would get in there and really work hard. And I would do murals. I would mural every inch of the place if they wanted it.
Wow.
And we would do like beach themes, sports themes, any kind of theme, back in the day where murals were real popular then. And I think, and I use airbrush a lot, so airbrush is pretty quick. And I was able to muscle through lots and lots of really cool murals in those days. Then I ended up here in New Mexico, and I lost a lot of that business because I chose to just sort of...
Mellow.
Yeah, mellow, and I want to go. I really like New Mexico, and I really thought, if I ever settle down somewhere, this is the place. So I found a place in these mountains, which I still live, and... So my business, the mural business, really dropped off, but I was still doing it. But then I ended up with the Pink Flamingos and started the whole show business aspect.
Yeah.
So it went from one major art thing to another, and I'm still trying to create art. Of course, well.
Bravo.
Thank you. And we'll show you pictures. I've got, I must have done,
that's some neat stuff.
Thousands of murals. I am not exaggerating.
I'm sure. And how was it when you were in front of an audience and you're under pressure, no question about it, to create something? And you touched on that a while ago, that you get nervous.
Yeah. Oh, it's very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It is. And I wondered... there was times when I wondered, what am I doing? This is crazy.
What am I doing?
But, I don't know. I just kept going. And again, right now, after everything I've done, it's still a challenge. If somebody asks me to do a performance in front of, which I've done a lot of the award banquets for Mark and everything.
Sure.
And I know Mark goes, well, Michael, this year, do you think you might be up to it? And I know he's probably going, come on, you can do it. And I'm at the point where, yeah, maybe, but I don't know.
Sometimes it's hard to say no.
Because it's hard to say no, but it's also hard to do.
Yeah.
And, the circumstances, and if you mess up, it's...
And have you messed up?
Yes, I've messed up a couple times.
What do you do?
Okay, I'll just give you one quick story. I was doing a Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
And I just got wild with the paint, and I'm going, and everything is fine.
And people are watching, expecting something.
Yeah, people. And the whole idea is you dip down into paint and you throw the paint, because that's the exciting part. You can't just sit there and paint by numbers.
Yeah.
You got to get in there and really show some effort. So I went down into paint like this, and I and usually when I rehearse and stuff, I know right where that splatter is going to be. I know it's over here.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
So no, you got it.
It's particular.
You got to know what's going on here.
Yeah.
And anyways, I was all excited, and and I was splattered, and I went right over where her eye was going to be.
Damn.
And this is in the beginning of the painting. So right now, I'm starting to formulate her, and I'm going, what? My mind is
trying to figure it out.
What am I going to do? Here I'm pretending like everything's okay.
Dios mío.
And I'm just frantic, like, I ended up making her, like, her hair went over here, and she was winking. I didn't know what else to do. And it actually, she was winking with her hair kind of halfway through. And I didn't know what else to do, but I pulled it off. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Miracles, huh? Just a quick insert there. I remember the same kind of thing. I was so nervous. I went to sing somewhere at the Spanish Village in Albuquerque during the State Fair. And so I ran in because I was just doing a newscast. I got off at 6:30, and I was scheduled to go on with the Mariachi Tenampa at 7. So, and this was my first days doing this. I committed. I don't know why. I was a little nuts, I guess. And so I went and got there, and I had to get on the stage, and the mariachi started singing or playing my Sabor a Mi, I think it was. Sabor a Mi. Well, I got on the wrong key. Lord have mercy. I couldn't hear myself. That's how nervous I was. So I just went with it, and finally, I don't know how I corrected it. It was just a mess. So I to this day, apologize to my audience that we're so forgiving, So anyway. It happens.
I had a few of them, but luckily we just all get through them, and luckily most of the people who hired me through this art explosion days, or even my mural days, or whatever I do.
Sure.
People can be kind, and people can be understanding.
Sure.
And if you meet the one that's a real jerk or everything, well, you just go, you're a jerk, and you just walk away from them. I never
Some of us can do that. I get beautiful letters sometimes back in the day. All it takes is one to really, and boy, does that hurt. I don't know what it is.
But, I think for the most part, I think 99% of my whole career and everything, people have been really gracious with me and understanding that, like I might do a mural. One time I did a mural and I misspelt one of the words.
Oh, yeah.
And they go, well, you got to fix it. Oh, of course, I'll fix it. And then we just make a joke. I said, I need to get a spell checker on my airbrush, I don't know what, So anyways, life goes on, and one thing I've learned is to be kind is everything, because, and also, like you said, humbleness is really important. And when you're in a situation where somebody expects all this from me, I got to go in there and I got to do the best I can. And if it doesn't work out, then I got to fix it. And if I can't fix it, then I'll just keep working until it's fixed, because I'm a man of my word. And if I'm going to, paint a guitar and it's going to have an image and you don't like that image, I'll redo it. I'm not going to say, well, I'm the artist and you don't know what you're talking about. Never happened with me.
Are there divas like that in that business?
Yeah, I know many artists that are just so full of themselves, and they're expensive.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I'll take the lower road.
Insult to injury.
Yeah. Let me take the lower road, and I just be happy in the middle there somewhere or whatever.
Well, Michael, you've again made us very happy here on the Spanglish Show. Tell your friends about it, because it's a good interview. I hope they tune you in and tune us in, because you have a great story to tell. And also, the kids should watch this as well, to know that as young as they are, now's the time to start painting or whatever you do to get that passion going. So, again, thank you.
Thank you, Nelson, and thank you, Mark.
Yes.
He's
Mark,
out there. He's over there.
behind the scenes doing his magic.
All right.
And Lessman's Pro Audio video.
Fantastic.
Thank you for the backing and the direction that you've taken us in on Facebook and all of the rest of them that we're going to be on. So look for us, Google us, The Spanglish Show with Nelson Martinez, your host. And thank you, Mark. Thank you again, Michael.
Well, you're welcome. More than welcome.
Entonces, nos vemos another time. Thank you for tuning in. Hasta luego. Hi there. The Spanglish Show with Nelson Martinez proudly welcomes our new sponsors. That's right, La Mexicana Tortilla Company. Oh boy, it'll bring you the greatest food and taste and service every time. Thank you to you and Flor de las Flores Dispensary, your go-to spot for care and good service. Thank you. Gracias for supporting our show and community. Really nice to hear that. Stay tuned and stay connected.